Hi, welcome to episode 37 of Talk About the Passion, My War. My guest today is Randy Larsen. I've known Randy's band Cable for quite some time, but had never met him, and maybe within the last year or so we became friends on social media. I had heard him as a guest on Mike Hill's excellent podcasts, Everything Went Black and the more recent Metal Matters, and thought, he would be a great guest for the show. We have similar tastes and ideas about music, and he's passionate about music at its core level. He loves music and just, loves creating music for himself. And if people like it, well, that's a good thing. And many people do love his music, and because, a humble and down-to-earth guy, and I felt like, I was just talking with an old friend, so that was cool. And although we didn't talk about it on the episode, any fan of Bobby Sullivan's band Seven League Boots is definitely going to be a friend of mine, so... On this episode, we talk about how Randy discovered music, which is similar to a number of guests now, which I think is kind of fascinating in itself, and that's through skate videos. And a lot of guests on here and friends of mine discovered a lot of punk and hardcore through those. So it's cool to hear that story again. Randy talks about his time in the band Cable from its inception to their current status, which is they're doing a new record next year, and he talks all about that here, and a couple of more things, and we'll get started here. I often forget we're not on camera during these episodes, and sometimes reference something you can't see, so at one point during this, we're talking about the Metal Matters episode where they discuss Iron Maiden's Killers. And I said, I didn't know that was a cover, and I was referring to the song Women in Uniform, because there's a big poster of that in the room where we record this. Great, now I can sleep a lot better knowing that that's dealt with. Oh, and the other thing was Maryland Death Fest was the name of the gigantic yearly festival that neither of us could remember the name of for whatever reason. If you or someone you know would like to be on this podcast, please get in touch with me. I'm on social media. Facebook and Instagram are probably the best places to contact me. You can come up here. I live in Massachusetts, about 30 minutes north of Providence. I can also travel to you, within a reasonable distance. Just search for Talk About the Passion podcast on those social media platforms, and you should be able to find me. Lastly, we talk about a few of Cable's releases, but most recently is a remixed and remastered version of Never Trust a Gemini, which I listened to this morning on my way to work, and that certainly helped my Monday morning, so you should pick up a copy of that. And you can buy that through Translation Loss Records on LP or CD. Their website is translationloss.com, and they have a ton of great music over there, so check it out. Anyway, thank you for listening. Here is episode 37, Randy Larsen, My War. Let's do it. So I'm here with Randy Larsen. We're here at my place here in Rentham. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Very good. And thanks for taking the long drive up here. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. It's actually beautiful out here. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, nice. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in a very small town in eastern Connecticut called Killingly, Connecticut. It's basically farmland, a lot of hicks, rednecks, not much to do.
Yeah. And so what did you do?
Well, when I was a little kid, I did the typical shit that every little kid does. Once I got into like junior high school and my freshman year of high school, I realized that like this just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I started searching for something else, and it led me to skateboarding.
Yeah.
Skateboarding is what led me to music. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was into music. Yeah. But it led me into punk and hardcore and underground stuff.
Yeah.
So then I found myself trapped in this town with, no culture.
Right. Yeah.
No record stores, nowhere to go to shows and stuff like that. Luckily, on my bus was this girl who was dating one of the only other kids in my high school who was into skating and punk rock and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she happened to notice I had like a sweatshirt and I wrote like Minor Threat on it with like a marker or something because there was nowhere to buy T-shirts or anything, And she's like, "Is that the band Minor Threat?" And like, this was like just some like normal chick, Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "My boyfriend's into them." So he was a few years older than me, and we got introduced, and he kind of took me under his wing.
Yeah.
His name was Dave Mahan, and I was able. He had a car, so he took me to to Boston and Providence and skating and to do Ray Comics to buy records. And, so that was my escape because I was like 14 at the time,
right.
And then once I was 16, I got my license, and every weekend I was just gone. I was in Boston, I was in Providence, New York, wherever.
Yeah.
So.
And like what kind of high school were you in?
Just the regular shitty old
like jocks and
oh, dude. Yeah, the funny thing, like when I was there's like I started to meet a few other kids in high school that I realized were into this stuff, like friends of that guy Dave.
Yeah.
And then a couple of people in my grade were kind of into it, and I think I maybe got more into it. So we had our little crew of people, like 5, 6, 7 people amongst like 1,000 fucking jocks.
Yeah, that's how it always
And this was in like '86.
Okay.
Around there, and it's so crazy. They used to want to kick our ass or kick my ass for having my head shaved.
Yeah.
And you put that in context.
Now,
everyone has their head shaved.
I know. Yeah, I know.
It's like such a normal thing. Like, you know what I mean? 5 out of every 10 people you see have their head shaved.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was just like a lot of jocks.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any problems. I just tried to avoid them as much as possible.
Yeah. And did you? So what did you do for like escape? Did you have brothers and sisters?
I have an older sister.
Yeah.
We weren't really very close though.
Yeah.
I spent once I got my car, man, I didn't spend much time at home.
Yeah.
It was like go to school, go to my shitty part-time job,
right,
and then just go skating.
Yeah.
The skating was a big part of my life early on.
Yeah.
I was going to shows, skating.
Yeah.
That's it. I had a girlfriend.
Right.
I had a kid when I was just turned 17.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
As well.
And so you're also into horror movies.
A
bit too. Was that something early on that you?
Yeah. I guess that was another thing. Like, I don't know if they had them up here or where you grew up, but Video Galaxy.
Okay.
Was the chain. Yeah. Like in like kind of like I guess maybe it was an Eastern Connecticut thing.
Yeah.
So go in there and they had the rent VHS tapes.
Right.
I bought a VCR.
Yeah.
Had the remote with the wire. I connected to the VCR.
Yeah.
But they had awesome like horror movie selection, man. They had like all like the Fulci stuff.
Oh yeah.
The Lucio Fulci stuff, which I love. They had, of course, the Romero stuff.
Right.
But they had everything. They had like a deep horror movie thing.
Nice.
So I seen tons of those movies when I was younger, and that's the stuff I really like.
Yeah. Do you have a cutoff for horror stuff?
I mean, I try to check out new stuff.
Yeah, here and there.
There's some new stuff that's cool. I'm very close-minded
Yeah.
when it comes to new horror, though. I hate CGI.
Yeah.
I like practical effects.
Right.
Like a big Tom Savini fan.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing. It's such an art form how they used to do these effects. Get these heads to explode. Get the blood to spray.
Oh, yeah.
And when I see that shit just done like on a computer, I know it's cost effective.
Right.
But a big part of horror for me is not so much like the quality of the movie as the ambiance and the atmosphere of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like the old Hammer movies.
Oh yeah.
Are those great movies?
Right.
No, but
yeah,
they create an atmosphere that I'm very into.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nice. And did you ever make sort of a connection between that music, like horror? Like I know when I first started getting into hardcore, and I went to a friend's house, and the guy that was showing me punk and everything, it was like Minor Threat, this and that, and then he had Earth AD by the Misfits, and I remember going, oh shit, this is like finally connecting the dots between like that love for like comics and horror and stuff. And,
I mean, on some levels, but not. I mean, more so. When I got older, yes, I made the connection between the Misfits and stuff. Yeah. It's a pretty obvious connection. I never was a comic book guy.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good thing, because I can't afford another hobby.
I know, right?
But It was more so when I got into bands like Electric Wizard and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It sampled a lot of horror movies I had seen. I'm like, oh, I know that sample,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
stuff like that. That I really made the connection.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, there was definitely a connection there
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And then as far as discovering music, so you said you mostly got through like skateboarding. Was that through like a lot of the videos? It seems like most of us
Yep.
heard
Absolutely.
songs like for the first time in videos. It's like a running thread through a lot of these conversations. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
thank God for those videos, man. Yeah, there was a little bike shop which eventually started to get skate stuff in there called Ordinary Bike Shop.
Yeah.
And that's where I bought my first like real deck and all that stuff. I was into BMX before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I would go in there and I started seeing the skate stuff come in, and I was like, oh, I took an interest in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they would rent. They had like maybe 10 or 12 skate videos.
Yeah,
And you could rent.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the first one I rented was, I wish I could remember the name of it. Someone posted it the other day. Maybe it was like Nate Newton or something posted it the other day.
Yeah.
It was a Vision video.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Agent Orange did basically the soundtrack and had him playing live in there and stuff.
Yeah.
I think maybe there was some TSOL songs
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever heard like punk rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Was in those videos.
Yeah, okay.
And I just struck a chord with me, and I
Yeah.
had to seek it out. So then, shortly after that, they started selling Thrasher magazine.
Yeah.
At the skate shop.
Yeah.
And then I would see the ads.
Oh, right, right.
In the Pus Zone and the record reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember the place. There was some place in there where you could mail order records and tapes.
Yeah.
Out from Thrash, like punk stuff.
Yeah.
And I got Dead Kennedy's Bedtime for Democracy and the first Suicidal album.
Nice.
Those are the first two punk records I ever bought.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how I got into that. It really was from the videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a common.
Yeah,
I guess
it
it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And especially where, like, if you're somewhere where there wasn't record stores or, we obviously didn't have the internet and that kind of stuff. So,
No.
magazines didn't make it out to, like, Maximum Rock and Roll didn't make it out to where I grew up. You had to go into Boston to discover that.
Right.
And
Yeah, yeah.
so previous to that, what kind of stuff, like, as a little kid, were you, like, first getting into before?
Well, my parents were diehard, like, old school country.
Oh, all right.
Outlaw country, all kinds of country, just, old stuff.
Yeah.
And I was, born in 72, so
Yeah.
that's basically all they played.
Yeah.
A lot of Willie, a lot of Waylon, a lot of Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And I obviously rejected that stuff.
Right.
Like when I first got into punk, I was like, oh, that shit sucks. But then I got really deep into it, and I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
now.
Yeah.
To the point where I like burned myself out on it. I just do it so much. But for me, so that was on in the house and the cars and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
My first memory of buying music, I bought 2 records: Kiss Destroyer and Kiss Rock and Roll Over.
Oh, all right. Nice.
And my parents had one of those like stereo TV console things that weighed like 5,000 pounds. The wooden cover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The phonograph was like set inside.
Yeah.
It sounded awful.
Yeah.
But I would listen to those Kiss records over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then as I was into like. I got into Ozzy, and I was into some '80s like bullshit too, like Men at Work, Quiet Riot, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I big time Ozzy. Yeah. Once I discovered, I didn't even know Black Sabbath existed. I knew Ozzy. I found out about Black Sabbath through Ozzy. Which is probably pretty backwards.
Right, I might have done that too. Just the way timing was.
Maybe it's guys our age.
Right. Yeah. I remember I didn't really know about all like sort of the deep cuts of Sabbath, like just kind of knew.
No.
And he did like a few of them live, but
right. Well, I've heard you talk about. I think it was when you were talking with Keith Bennett about Solar Souls for Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my introduction to Sabbath.
Yeah.
And that the gatefold girl in the coffin.
Yeah.
I know so many people who are like that was their introduction to Sabbath. They were like, well, this is fucking crazy. You know, I had Ozzy Speak of the Devil. Yeah. I didn't know those were all Sabbath songs. I thought they were Ozzy songs.
I know a guy that's his favorite. He likes that better than any of the Sabbath albums.
Really?
Yeah. And I like it.
I like it too, but I
it's
mean,
like it's an acquired taste because of the guitar playing is a little over the top, but
it's not Tony Iommi, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Sabbath's Black Sabbath and Black Flag are my two favorite bands.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't
Yeah.
ever say that I like that better. I
Or,
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I love Tommy Aldridge puts a different twist on that stuff. And
It's like when Dio, on the Live Evil record, the Sabbath record, when Dio sings the Ozzy songs.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, but I never quite warmed up. I love the Dio stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Heaven and Hell.
Yeah,
Mob Rules.
Yeah.
I love those records.
Yeah.
But when he goes back and sings the Ozzy stuff, it's cool, but it's just not the same.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I think you were talking about on the podcast with Mike about the live sets with Ian Gillan.
Oh yeah.
It comes with the Born Again.
Yes.
And he's like
Born Again. That's a lot of
screaming
records.
through. Yeah. So, but anyway, so do you remember your the first show you saw for like hardcore?
Yeah, I went. I didn't go to a concert till after I went to my first like hardcore show.
Okay.
My first hardcore show was Verbal Assault and the Bad Brains, the Living Room.
Oh yeah.
It was either 86 or 87, the
Yeah.
Eye Against Eye tour.
Yeah.
And it started at 5 o'clock on a Friday.
It was one of those Pied Piper.
Probably.
Yeah. Band.
Doug Karen, I believe, is the promoter.
Yeah.
I wish shows started at 5 o'clock on Fridays now.
All right. Yeah.
That was the first show I ever went to, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's a good one to see.
as a like 14-year-old kid, seeing the Bad Brains on Eye Against Eye tour.
That was the first time I saw them,
Really?
and that was probably the last best time you could see them. I saw them subsequent times, but
Right.
that first time was just
Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really explain it to someone unless they're in
No, no.
You know what I mean? And I'm a big Verbal Assault fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just those two bands.
Yeah.
The old living room.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
bubble window.
Yep,
And,
yeah.
So yeah, I was like just like totally like blown away.
Yeah.
Like scared but excited.
Yeah,
You know. Yeah, it was great. That's the first show I went to.
Yeah.
I think maybe shortly after that, I seen Slapshot and Dag Nasty.
Oh, yeah.
At the Rocket, which turned
Oh,
into
yeah.
Club Babyhead.
That was a good club.
Yeah.
I saw them, a good helmet I saw in there. Helmet, and I think I saw the Melvins in there too with
Yeah, they
Godhead CeeLo maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I've been to a million shows there.
Yeah.
That was a great
club.
little room.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, the first concert I went to was Beastie Boys, the License to Ill tour.
All right.
The Worcester Central.
Yeah, yeah.
With Murphy's Law, Public
Yeah.
Enemy.
Yeah, I was at that. Yeah.
You were that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing too. When you
Yeah.
think back to that, you know.
And I was thinking about that show recently because we were talking about Murphy's Law was, opened that show. And I know for me at the time, and I kind of hate this kind of attitude now, but at the time I remember thinking, like, Murphy's Law was like our band.
Right.
And now, like, all these people were going to see them. And I was like, no, I almost was like, I know those guys. I didn't know them, but I could have, because, hardcore bands were accessible to.
Yeah.
Did you feel that at all? Like any kind of like.
A little bit, but I was still really kind of new to the whole experience.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Shit, I still feel that way now.
Yeah, you want to have, like, people want to have bands all to themselves, which is kind of like
Yeah.
obnoxious, but it also makes a little sense sometimes. Where you're like,
Sure, man. Sure.
People ruin.
Yeah.
Shit.
Once the secret's out, you know, well, there was one instance. I've been going to shows for a few years. I was pretty deep into it.
Yeah.
And, I explained where I grew up and the attitude, the jocks and the rednecks and shit. I was at I can't remember the show. I can't remember the venue, but it was a hardcore show.
Yeah.
And I looked over and like one of those dicks from like a year before that wanted to kick my ass was there.
Right.
And I was like, oh, like this, this can't be. This can't be.
Yeah.
It was inconceivable to me that guy was, and that was like the beginning of the end. That was like the crack in the wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. Like, you can have your shit.
Yeah.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It was very protective of the scene. And,
and then it's just, after that, the floodgates kind of opened.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people that you'd never see at a show.
Yeah.
Or, were at shows, and it was just, hey, what's up, man? Fuck you.
I know.
Yeah.
And because it kind of took away that energy too that was there early on, where it was real kind of dangerous and
absolutely
and like
absolutely
and just
that's me and Mike Hill talk about that all the time. We probably talked about it on podcasts before. This there's no danger
Yeah.
in a show anymore. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to go to a show and get like a bottle thrown at me
Right.
or get
Yeah,
punched in the face or whatever. But like, it's different. It's hard to explain unless you went to shows when there was danger there. It was just the anticipation that anything could happen.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I've been to a show and I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty tense.
I
Pretty
know.
weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
it's like putting on your shoes, going to a show now.
Yeah. I think you guys were talking once about I Hate God shows, how those used to be.
Yeah, now like fucking every hipster,
Right.
douchebag, is in I Hate God.
Yeah.
You know, like back when I got in, and I bought their first album, so I guess I actually shouldn't say I came to I Hate God late because they were around a few years before they had an album. But I remember buying their first album when it came out and going to see them. And dude, there was the only people at those shows were people like questionable people. You know what I mean? The fucking dude from high school that was on the football team was not an I Hate God show.
Yeah, you weren't running into those dudes there.
No. And now it's like, I mean, good for I Hate God, because I'm sure they weren't making no fucking money back then.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, they're doing all right, hopefully, and that's good. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
But it's different in a way. I just went to see them recently, and they were great.
Yeah.
They kill it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, one of my favorite bands. But it's just different.
Yeah. I remember seeing them and it wasn't even that early. It was at the Metal Fest in Baltimore. It was maybe 6 or 7 years ago. They played Today's the Day played Yob. What is that called? The Baltimore Metal Fest.
Why am I going blank on it too? Yeah, the huge thing they do every year, like Memorial Day weekend.
But I Hate God was I
can't remember either.
Might just Baltimore.
They don't need any more promotion, man.
I know, right? But I remember seeing the drummer sitting on a bench and just watching him purchase something just from some random dude. And, watch them play like half hour later. I'm like, yep.
Oh yeah.
And he was dead like 2 years.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah,
he was when I lived in Boston for a brief time, and those guys stayed at the house that I was living at.
Okay.
For a few days, actually. It was I Hate God and Soylent Green.
Oh wow.
And they were all awesome guys, man.
Yeah.
The nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know them, I can see where people would be like, I don't want any part of these guys. But no, they were all of them are great guys.
I've always heard that.
Yeah.
So you kind of immersed yourself in seeing shows. When did you start playing music yourself?
I started trying to play almost immediately.
Yeah.
One of the first things I did, like once I started to get into the punk and hardcore stuff, was buy a bass, buy an amp. I had no clue what I was doing.
Right.
The guy Dave I was telling you about that kind of took me under his wing, took me to shows and stuff. He played guitar.
Okay.
And we found some dude who he lived in our town, but he went to like some military school. And
right.
He's just fucking weird dude. I don't know. He was into like the Exploited and shit. And he tried to play drums. And we went through a couple of years of just like doing we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah,
we recorded like a demo on a boombox. And so, and didn't really play any real shows, played like a basement show in our town that we put on and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I started playing pretty much immediately when I got into punk and stuff.
Nice. And
I haven't stopped.
Yeah. And what types of shows were you starting to gravitate toward? Did you sort of go all over the place, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was, deep into punk and hardcore. I was really into New York, the Revelation stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the Boston stuff.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, frankly, man, to me, hardcore it got too fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It got too violent.
Yeah.
It got like all gangster shit, and that's when I kind of started to check out of quote unquote hardcore.
Yeah.
And then I started discovering bands like the Melvins.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah.
I Hate God.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and Neurosis.
Yeah.
Some of the touch and go and amphetamine reptile stuff, which I got really heavy into.
Yeah.
It's how I found out about Today Is the Day, and there were some bands that still I guess were labeled hardcore, like Rorschach and Dead Guy.
Yeah.
That played hardcore shows, but like they were just different. You know? Those guys obviously were listening to Amphetamine Reptile stuff. I started to get a little more into metal and stuff like that. Yeah, dude, hardcore just got really fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's funny too. I always say like you can kind of argue that like Biohazard, those kind of bands, where that just kind of sprung all these different bands that they were responsible for a lot of fucking horrible stuff.
That's the time frame, man.
But they're also responsible for amazing stuff because everyone like rejected that, and then people started doing interesting stuff. So I think it was
that's a good way to
worked out, you know. So
it's a good way. That's a good
Thanks,
way.
Biohazard.
Yeah, thank you. That is a good way to think of it.
Yeah,
if you're gonna put a positive spin on it, that would be
Biohazard.
My buddy Phil, that's a few years younger than me. He's he always says it to me. He's like, it's my generation that ruined hardcore, and he's not wrong.
Right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, when that whole element came in, man, I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was goofy.
Yeah.
I just wanted no part of it.
Yeah.
So I kind of just started to search for something else.
Yeah.
And just by going to record stores and talking to people and flipping through records and finding, Tad records and Neurosis records and all that kind of stuff. It kind of just led me down another path.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it created like a whole world of other like stuff where it was still cool to be a hardcore. You could call yourself a hardcore kid, but you almost seemed more open-minded. And it wasn't like pretentious. It was just like, we're doing this shit now. And it's cool.
Well, even like the Abolition Records type stuff. I mean, looking back on that, a lot of that stuff was probably extreme on the other side. Like they just super like emo and like I don't want to call it sissy shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like overly dramatic, as a reaction maybe to the Biohazard stuff. But I was into some of that stuff. Like bands like Downcast and that kind of stuff. There was a lot of great bands. I got, I guess I lived in that world for a little while too, like Hoover and Discord Records and those kind of bands. I like all that stuff too.
Yeah.
That was another nice thing to find that was different. It was still considered like the hardcore scene, but it was like there was like two hardcore scenes for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And I definitely sided with that one.
Yeah. It was, I think for people like us too, it was refreshing because it made it so you didn't have to just say, "Oh, I'm a metal guy," or "I'm a," because it was just sort of heavy music. Yeah, but none of it really sounded the same. And it was that era too. I'd say like the C bands, like Cable, Cave In, Converge. There was a whole bunch of, but all of them, you guys were kind of doing different stuff. Coalesce was another one, and
I guess
Cavity. It was just a big. My C section, C-section, my C area.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. But so it was a lot of interesting stuff, and so when you started playing guitar, you were doing more hardcore stuff. You were saying, but punk rock, and then
I started playing bass, and then I was horrible at that, and all the bands I was playing bass in were horrible, and there was a number of them. Yeah. It's irrelevant what the names were. They were just shitty, bands. And then I got asked to join this band Structure, which was from like an hour away from where I lived. A mutual friend that was in the band singing asked me to play guitar, and I'm like, well, I've never played guitar. Right. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'll buy a guitar. Yeah. How hard can it be? Yeah. So I played in that band for like a minute, and that is where I met Vic, who's the drummer of Cable, and we started Cable. Okay. It's also where I met Jeff Cackside, who was in Cable, who went on to do ISIS and Palms. And he's still a dear friend of mine. Yeah. So that's how all that kind of got started. I just fumbled around in like bad hardcore bands, trying to play bass. Yeah. And then guitar in that Structure band, and then I played guitar originally in Cable on the demo and the first couple 7 inches and singles we did. Yeah. And then I was a horrible guitar player. Yeah. So and then eventually a few other people left the band, and I just started playing bass and singing. Yeah. And that's where I've been doing ever since. Yeah.
So that, what were some of the idea when you started Cable? Because when I listened to it, I hear heavy stuff, but I hear Discord, like
yeah.
the not the Discord hardcore, but like Hoover and Lung,
Yeah.
that kind of more noisy-ish stuff.
Right around the time we started the band, it was definitely heavy into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hoover, and there was a band called Lincoln from West Virginia.
Oh yeah, I remember that band.
Yeah, they were pretty awesome. That few 7 inches out.
Okay.
And but I was also around the time I had been getting into Neurosis, and Sleep and the Melvins and Jesus Lizard, and Tar, and so on. So I definitely want to do something that was not a hardcore band.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sound like a 108.
Yeah.
No offense to 108.
Right.
I like 108.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't really know really what I want to do. I just know I didn't want it to be easily pigeonholed as like a hardcore band. So we just started messing around. I was playing guitar and singing. Vic was playing drums, and then we kind of had a few other dudes early on that we jammed with that lasted like a couple practices and stuff. Never really worked out. Yeah. And then we actually played a show, and I just sang. It was the first show we ever played. It was with Shelter and Baby Gopal.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just sang, and we got this guy Matt Becker who played guitar, and my friend Chris was playing guitar, and that lineup lasted one show.
Yeah.
I started playing guitar and singing. Jeff was on bass. We recorded a few demos, a few singles and stuff, and then I left the band briefly. Yeah. For like a few months. Okay. And we got Bernie Romanowski in the band on guitar, who's still in the band. Okay. This was 95, maybe. And when I left the band, those guys decided that they wanted to part ways with Jeff, or creative differences. Okay. Whatever. Jeff was about to move to Boston, too. Yeah. So they called me and was like, hey, do you want to come back to the band and play bass and sing? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. So I hadn't played bass since I was, in years or whatever. I had to figure out how to do that. Yeah. So, yeah, the beginning of the band was just like people coming and going. Yeah. But influence-wise, there was definitely a lot of like that Discord, the Hoover style Discord stuff, and AMREP, Touch and Go stuff. I really started to get into that stuff a lot. Yeah. And you ended up recording with Steve Austin. Yeah, that was a little further down the road. Okay. But, yep. Yeah, we had met Steve. Today is the Day. Played the Tune-In in New Haven, Connecticut on the Willpower tour, and we had gotten a promo because me and Vic, the drummer at the time, both used to book shows. Okay. So we get a lot of promos and stuff. Yeah. And he got Willpower promo. Yeah. And he's like, dude, you got to come over and hear this record. Yeah. And I got to say, man, that record probably more than any other record kind of changed the way I thought about heavy music. Yeah. Yeah. I still, to this day, that record just blows my mind how powerful it is. Yeah. It's short. Yeah. It hits everything I like about heavy music. Yeah. It's like crushingly heavy, but there's moments where it's like beautiful. Yeah. You can hear like the prog in there, like the old King Crimson in there. Yeah. It's creepy. It's just, I was just blown away by it, Yeah. So we ended up getting on that shit. I think it was us. I think it was Cable, Dead Guy, Today is the Day. Oh, wow. It was a pretty awesome show. Yeah. And I just talked to Steve that night, and then we just kept in touch through the years. Yeah. We played with them when they came through for the self-titled tour a year or two later. Yeah. And then he ended up moving up to New England, up to Massachusetts. Yeah, so then once he moved up here and he moved his studio from Nashville up here, that's when we kind of was like, all right, we're going to make a record with him. That was our third record. Okay. We made two before that, full lengths before that. Yeah. And then our third record, Northern Failures, we made with him. Yeah. How was that experience? It was great, man. Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. I worked with him as well. You did? You recorded with Steve? Yeah. Actually, the music at the beginning of this podcast is from that album that we did with him. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah. But, right. Yeah. Steve's a madman. Yeah. Yeah. He's a madman. Yeah. Like, it was great. It was a great experience. That was our second record for Hydra Head, our second and final record for Hydra Head. Yeah. So Aaron gave us a really nice budget to work with.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went into his studio. I don't know. We recorded quick. We always record quick.
Yeah.
I think we recorded in 3 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stoked about it, man.
Yeah.
Very happy with it. It's a great experience. We went back there a few other times. You know, we became very friendly with Steve. We would go up. He'd invite us up for barbecues and stuff like that. So a few of the other records we made, I wasn't as happy with the result. And that's not Steve's fault.
Yeah.
But we would roll up there ready to party.
Yeah.
Not so much ready to make a record.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd roll up there with, bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
And
Burning hog.
burning a lot of hog. Yes, you definitely recorded Steve. So like the first time was like we were friends, but it was more like business.
Just,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And then the next few times we went up there, it was just like we didn't even give him a fair chance to like, So I'm not as proud of those records as I am with Northern Failures.
Right. Yeah.
And that's mainly our fault for not being serious, just
Yeah.
being fuck ups.
Right,
dude,
right,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know if you know, but we have a history of being fuck ups.
I did not know
allegedly.
that. Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah. From just drama in the band or?
Drama in the band, breaking up, getting back together, canceling shows,
Right.
Trying to fight like other bands when they're playing, and just dumb shit,
stuff,
man.
yeah.
I'm not proud of any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look back and laugh on it. Cause
Right,
what
right.
am I going to do? I can't
Yeah,
fucking change it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
46 years old. What am I
Yeah.
going to do?
Right.
All I can try to do is move forward.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
We did dumb shit that got us dropped from Hydra Head. Like we were supposed to play when Hellfest was still up in Syracuse.
Yeah.
It was in like some hockey arena or something.
Right.
It was the last day of the tour for Northern Failures.
Yeah.
We had a day off before the day we were supposed to play, so we just went there. We're like, fuck it, we'll just go there. Because I think it was day 3 we were supposed to play. Yeah. It was a 3-day thing. So we just went, set up our merch and shit. And the tour was kind of weak for the most part. You know, we're losing money and shit. And then when we got there, we set up our merch and people were just fucking buying like shit, like more money than we made the whole tour. And for some reason, maybe alcohol and drugs might have something to do with it. We thought it'd be a good idea if we made like a certain amount of money, let's just go home.
Yeah.
Like let's
Not
just
play
not
the show.
no.
Yeah.
Let's not tell a promoter.
Right.
Let's just fucking leave
Yeah.
tonight.
Right.
So that's what we did.
Yeah.
Like fucking geeked out on speed or whatever.
Right.
And we just didn't play.
Yeah.
Which was so dumb.
Right.
I mean, there was like 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
We sold a ton of shit the day before we played, so obviously people were there to see us.
Yeah.
That day or two later, I got a call from Hydra Head, and they were just like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you just left? You didn't tell any?
Right.
They weren't happy.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Right.
I wouldn't be happy either. You know, just shit like that.
Yeah.
We did a lot of dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of had a hand in getting us dropped when it came to put out the next record.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
you know,
So did you guys do a lot of touring?
no.
No.
I mean, in the context of the band, 2019 would be 25 years that we've been a band, although a lot of off and on.
Yeah.
No, we did our first full length was Variable Speed Drive. That was on Doghouse Records. We did a 30-day tour in 1996 for that record. We left the day it came out.
Yeah.
And no one knew who the fuck we were. Right. Like, we put a show in Connecticut. It was great. It was packed. It was like, 300 people. They were like, yeah. And we drove all night to Toledo, Ohio, and played to like fucking one person. And then so on and so on. And then, there was a few shows that were fun, but like, I mean, we lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, we had our breakup, get back together thing. We made our second record, Gutter Queen. That was when we got signed to Hydra Head.
Yeah.
We played some scattered shows with that. We did a small tour down to Florida and back. We took ISIS on tour.
Oh, yeah.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
At the time I was playing in both bands.
Oh, wow.
I played second guitar in
all right.
ISIS
I didn't know that.
for a short time,
Yeah.
and I was still doing cable.
Oh, okay.
That tour was, ISIS had a demo out. They didn't have a record out. No one knew who they were. They were far from becoming the juggernaut that they became.
Yeah.
So that was like rough too,
Yeah.
And after that, there was a few more years of radio silence before we made the Northern Failures album.
Right.
Then we did a short tour for that. I did some shows in the Midwest and stuff.
Yeah.
The last time Cable's been on tour is 2001.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been shows, but
Right. Yeah. No. Tours,
no, I think the furthest away from Connecticut we've played since then is like New York.
yeah. 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 And that's sort of that's your project. And have you always been did you do most of the lyrics for the?
Yeah. Bernie, the other guitar player. Right now, the band consists of me, Bernie, who's been in since 1996.
Okay.
Or 95, actually. Me, Bernie, Fish is our second guitar player. He's been in the band since 2004.
Okay.
Right now, we are drummerless.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, I've probably Bernie has written lyrics. Whoever sings usually writes their own lyrics.
Okay. Yeah.
I wrote the bulk of the songs. I wrote the bulk of the lyrics. But Bernie contributes music and lyrics. Not so much lyrics anymore. He doesn't really sing too much anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I'm the main
Yeah.
songwriter
Okay.
for Cable.
Yeah. Gutter Queen was the first one I heard.
All right, cool.
It's probably my favorite. I think of.
Cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people like that one.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people like aren't happy with us because we change directions a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that though. I like when.
I like it too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why I play music.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I mean, if I was in Motorhead
Right.
or AC/DC, I
you
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, because those bands
They
do what they
this
do.
one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to hear like Cable make the same record over
Right.
and over again, man.
Yeah.
Trust me. You know, you think they don't want to hear the
Right.
ones that change. You don't
Right.
want to hear the same one over and over again. So I've had the same attitude since I started the band, man. I do this shit for me.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care if people
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
It's great if they do.
Yeah. If one other person likes it, that's a bonus.
That's it, man. When I was saying we did that tour in 1996 with the Connecticut show, it was a packed house. It was great. Our record just came out. Our first album. We're on top of the world.
Yeah.
We drove all night to Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
Played some shitty bar in like an industrial park.
Yeah.
There was one guy that watched us play.
Yeah.
There were some other people in the back
Right.
of the bar, maybe 5 people.
Yeah.
One guy watched us play, and he
Yeah.
came and he walked right up front. And I'll never forget, he had a white Laughing Hyenas shirt on.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. We're playing to one dude.
Yeah.
Like, I got to make a decision right here. I'm either going to do this and continue to do this,
Yeah.
no matter what, or, or I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fucking get in the van and go home.
Yeah.
So I made a decision that day that I'm just doing this for me
Yeah.
and whoever comes out to the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna mail it in. I'm gonna
Right.
play as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Every time we play.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, man.
And that's good,
It's- there's no other way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, definitely. I think that's that's the stuff I like, and those are the people I gravitate towards. I think that have that work ethic and just aren't mailing it in.
I know if I went to see a band that was like stoked to go see, and I was the only person there, and they were like, "Well, fuck
Right,
this,"
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have in some
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
I'm not going to name the bands because
Yeah.
I don't want to, do that to them.
Yeah.
But I went to see some of my favorite bands, and there was like a handful of people
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And that was, as another lesson I learned. They always delivered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They always delivered.
Yeah, most of the good bands will, but
Yeah.
there's those few that might be, there might be a member or two that are weak and can't
Handle it.
and just can't handle it. Yeah, yeah,
That wasn't the only show on that tour we played to one person. We played
Yeah.
a basement of an antique store
Oh, nice.
in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm sure you never heard of Appleton.
No.
Yeah. Most people haven't, probably. There was one dude in a Nirvana shirt sitting at a folding chair, like in the middle of the room. But we played. you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
What were we going to do,
yeah.
So yeah, it's the band's been a lot of ups and downs. We have not put out a record since 2009.
Yep.
Been almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But there will be a new record.
Yeah.
In 2019.
Awesome.
Finally.
In this year, you guys reissued the Gemini record.
Yes.
And,
that was one of the records we made with Steve, where
Yeah.
like it was party time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we were never happy, and once again, it's nothing that Steve did wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were never happy with the finished result.
Yeah.
We liked those songs. We this guy Peter Ferris we brought on board as like a second vocalist.
Yeah.
And he has like that was his first record with us. He's been on every record we've done since.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's only one song. That record he has like he sings on a lot of that record. And we're always love those songs and love what he did on the record, but we were never really happy with it. So to be able to go back and remix and remaster it was kind of an ordeal.
Yeah.
To get it to happen, but we got it to happen.
Yeah.
Why it was an ordeal, I don't know.
Right.
Gives a fuck about it. It's not like someone sitting on a gold mine giving us our masters back after 15 years. But hey, some people are that way. So yeah, we finally were able to go back. We went up to Mystic Valley Studios in Boston, and Alex up there, he did a complete remix.
Nice.
Then we had it remastered, and that's the Never Trust a Gemini version 2 that came out this year, which we're very happy with.
Yeah.
And it's nice after all these years to kind of have it realized.
Yeah, have it like how you wanted it.
Yeah.
And translation loss, put that out.
Yep.
Yep.
They've put out a few other cable records in the past, and they'll be putting out the new record in 2019.
Nice. Cool.
Too. Yeah.
Awesome. And do you have a regular rehearsal schedule with cable, or is it just sort of when stuff is happening?
Yeah, there has not been a steady rehearsal schedule with cable since 2009.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, if you don't have a drummer.
Yeah, this has been a very trying year
Yeah.
in the world of cable. So this album has to happen.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah.
We start recording in January.
Oh, nice.
We're recording at Mystic Valley.
Oh, awesome.
And Alex Garcia Rivera he plays drums in American Nightmare.
Yeah.
You remember Kingpin?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Played in Kingpin.
Yeah.
He did a band called Blood Horse for a while.
Okay.
Put out a couple records on Translation Loss, which is they're really good.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing drums on the
nice.
on the cable record.
Cool.
Beyond that,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Any drummers out there?
And you do a podcast with or you're sometimes you're a guest on.
Yeah, I co-host with
Co-host.
Mike.
Okay.
Well, it started. Me and Mike Hill. He does the Everything Went Black podcast. We've been friends forever, and we go back a long way. And a few times he had me on as a guest.
Yeah.
We went to see a quote unquote Black Flag reunion because we're both huge Black Flag fans.
Yeah.
Obviously left disappointed.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be a cool idea to go back to his apartment in Brooklyn and document the disappointment.
Oh, all right.
He had already had his podcast going, so he's like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And then he had me on a few more times, as a guest or whatever. And then we started doing this thing on the Everything Went Black called Topic.
Yeah.
We just pick a specific topic,
Yeah.
whether it was a classic album or we did one on Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
We did one on Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was the first one I had heard.
Yeah. And then Mike started DJing on a Gimme Radio. If you're familiar with Gimme Radio,
Yeah.
it's actually really cool.
Yeah, it is. You can interact with the people are interacting and stuff.
There's
pretty
cool, Mike's a DJ
discussions
on there. Dan Lilker from
Yeah.
Brutal Truth, Nuclear Assault's on there. Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. It's pretty cool, And they contacted him about doing a podcast segment.
Yeah.
So he launched a new thing about a month ago called Metal Matters Podcast. And it's available on Stitcher and iTunes and all that.
Yeah.
But it's through Gimme Radio.
Yeah.
So he asked me to co-host some of those shows with him.
Yeah.
He does some by himself,
Right.
interviews people or whatever, and then
Right.
we do like a classic album segment.
Yeah.
So far, we did Through Silver and Blood, The Roasted Through Silver and Blood, Godflesh Street Cleaner. We just recorded a few more of them this week.
Nice.
So I co-host that with him.
Yeah.
That's kind of the tangled web of that.
Yeah.
But I do not have my own podcast.
Right.
I think about it all the time,
Yeah.
but then this guy's like you and Mike, so what am I gonna do?
The one, I would definitely. I've listened to the Lilker one, and then I listened to which I would recommend to anyone that's into like metal and hardcore, is to listen to the crossover one you guys did, which I thought was
right.
amazing. And,
Thank you.
And the Killers Iron Maiden one was really good.
That's
too.
right. We did that one too.
Yeah. We talked about the,
Yeah,
which I didn't know that was a cover song until
yeah.
49 years old, and I'm just learning.
I didn't know either. Our research department
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah. But the crossover one was great. And
Thank you. Yeah.
That's just like my wheelhouse, that music.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
that
loved
era.
all that stuff and was around kind of right at the beginning of that.
Yeah,
You know, so I've seen a lot of those bands during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I have a lot of fun doing it. You know, Mike asked me to do it, and had a lot of fun. The Dan Loker one was cool. We did that. Mike did that interview when we were on tour.
Yeah.
I think it was the second day of tour at like this bar in Rochester.
Okay.
And everyone in Tombs was just sitting there like drinking beers and having lunch. And like Dan Lilker pulls up and like he's got this like giant ass. It's not a Cadillac. It's like an old Cutlass Supreme or something.
That's awesome.
He's a really nice guy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just that guy's a legend to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, he just like rolls up. He's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like, the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, that was a good interview.
Yeah, Mike has a lot of cool interviews coming up on the Metal Matters stuff.
Nice. Cool.
And we just recorded like 3 things the other day. So yeah,
Nice. And you were playing with Tombs for a little while.
yes, for just under a year or so. They had a lot of turmoil making their last record, The Grand Annihilation. You know, me and Mike have been friends. I kept in touch with them when they were down in Florida making that record, and the whole band didn't make it down there for whatever, you know. So they went and did some tours with kind of fill-in guys for that record. And then about a Christmas of last year, Mike called me and asked me, you know, if I'd want to do it.
Yeah.
And I love Tombs.
Yeah.
You know, Mike's a great friend, and I was honored that he asked me.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, you know, let's do it. So just driving to New Jersey like every couple of weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
Practicing down there. It's where the rehearsal space is. And then we went and we started writing a little bit. You know, I mean, Mike does all the writing, but I was. And then we got offered to play Hellfest in France.
That was your first.
That was right. We were supposed to do dates in the U.S.
Yeah.
Some of the dates had this band, the death metal band Bloodbath.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't get into the country.
Yeah.
Our tour with them got canceled.
Oh yeah, that little
Right. So my first show with Tombs ended up being Hellfest.
Yeah. In front of how many fucking
a
people?
lot of fucking people. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot. Especially in my world, because I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Getting thrown into the fire like that.
Yeah, the travel over there was a complete dumpster fire, clusterfuck. I was up for like 40 hours.
Yeah.
You know, but like once we got there, like, they treated us like gold.
Yeah.
We played the same day as Iron Maiden.
Awesome.
There was probably 200,000 people there.
Yeah.
You're in a sea of people. Like if we didn't have like the access to like go backstage and take the shuttle and all that shit, I can't imagine being there.
Oh yeah.
As like a festival goer, as a fan.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's enjoyable for anyone.
Yeah. Being like right in the front, and then all of a sudden, I gotta take a shit. You know, like
you must just shit right there. I mean, you're not going anywhere. I tried to get down to see Maiden.
Yeah.
I fought through the crowd for about 10 minutes, and then I started to have a panic attack, and I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
So I went back to like the bar, like the VIP bar for the bands, and just watched it on the giant screen.
Yeah.
You know, that was amazing. And then, we did a short run at the end of August into September. Went up into Canada for 4 shows. And it was like 10 or 12 days or something.
Yeah.
We were out with this band Barishi.
Oh yeah.
From Vermont.
Yeah.
Fucking great guys.
Yeah.
Great band. And then life just got in the way.
Yeah.
You know, I had some stuff at home that I just can't be on the road.
Yeah.
And 12 days isn't even really being on the road. But some things, you know, during that time happened, and I couldn't make the commitment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're going to make a new record, and they're probably going to tour most of 2000.
Yeah.
And I was all in to do that.
Yeah.
Until I realized that I can't really do that.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, everything is cool. It was a clean break with those guys.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah,
They're like brothers to me.
Yeah.
So I wish them the best. I am not doing any more stuff with Tombs, unfortunately, but I'm not.
Yeah. So you get in Slow Death. Is that a Still a thing?
No.
No.
Slow
Okay.
death is done.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't want it to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
Beyond my control.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I went from being in like 3 bands
Yeah.
to being in just the same band I've been in forever,
Yeah.
Cable,
Yeah.
which works at a snail's pace. And,
Right.
But this year, no, not this year. Next year will
Yeah.
be hopefully a big year for Cable.
Yeah.
By our standards.
Yeah.
We start recording in January.
Yeah.
Hopefully finish in February. The record's coming out in translation loss. The artwork is done. All the songs are written.
Nice.
We have Alex to play drums on the record.
Yeah.
My friend Jeff Cackside from Played Nicest, Played in Palms. He did a solo project called Crone.
Okay.
He's going to contribute a track
Oh, all right.
on the record. My friend Graham, the guitarist for Barishi, he's going to guest on a song
Nice.
playing guitar. Mike Hill is going to contribute probably some vocals and guitar.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about the record.
Yeah.
It's going to be 9 tracks.
Nice.
Hopefully be out sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
Shows, we'd like to
If
play
they-
some shows.
Yeah. If you can make it happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You
Yeah.
know, we don't really have a steady drummer.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm excited about the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is now with the record, is this one a theme? Like, do you do like themes for like a whole record?
We only did that once.
Yeah.
Our last studio album, The Failed Convict, that came out
Yeah.
in 2009.
Yeah.
That was a concept,
concept
album.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. I was really bored, like with the lyrics. I didn't know which way. I'd been doing the same thing for a while,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
And I was like, kept thinking about a concept record.
Right.
And I'm just like, that's so fucking cheesy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking good enough to
Right,
do that
yeah,
and
yeah.
do it good. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm not Roger Waters.
Right.
You know? But I was like, fuck it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just came up with a very simple concept.
Yeah.
I'd been wanting to do a record for years, say a solo record, but
Yeah.
I'm not talented enough to make a solo record. So
Yeah.
I was just going to call on all these people I know
Right.
that are more talented than me to contribute to it and put my name on it. So I kind of took from that idea and made it a Cable idea
Right.
in some ways, not
Yeah.
completely.
Right.
But The Failed Convict was basically about a guy who escapes from jail and his adventures on his way from Tennessee to California.
Nice.
I don't know how evident that is
Right.
if you just listen to the record,
Right,
but
right.
I tried to make it evident.
Yeah,
I don't know. This record will not be a continuation of that.
Yeah.
It's just 9 songs
Yeah.
of angry,
Yeah.
loud. Well, they're not all angry and loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually take a crack at doing an acoustic song on the
Oh,
record.
yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's probably a total failure, but fuck it.
Try it. Why not?
Yeah.
I always thought too, having like a concept, at least with me, with my last band, sometimes it made me gave me like a focus.
Sure.
At least just to, because a lot of times I'm so scatterbrained with
Yeah.
in creativity. So at least in my head, I was like, this is I didn't have to sell it as that or tell anyone else, but
Right.
if I had like a theme in my head, it sort of made it a little easier to
It definitely came into
work
the
towards something.
Yeah, it definitely came into the songwriting. We came up with the concept idea. I mean, almost right out of the box. But I had a couple songs written going into it. So, but once we really started building the album and writing more songs and knowing we were doing the concept, it
Yeah.
did affect the way I wrote songs.
Yeah.
And like I tried to create moods that kind of coincide
Yeah.
with the story. Loud parts, quiet
Yeah, yeah.
parts, different kind of. Maybe
Yeah.
kind of approach the songwriting
Yeah.
differently than I
Yeah,
would.
definitely. Yeah.
Which I thought about doing that again, but we did it once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years from now, do a follow up.
So as far as music, what are you listening to nowadays for what's getting you any new stuff?
Like from
For
this,
new,
this
for
year,
new, yeah,
new
newer,
stuff.
yeah.
Me and Mike just did a top 5 thing the other
Yeah.
day. Let's see if I can remember my top 5 from 2018. Number 1 was the Sleep album.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been waiting,
yeah.
like all of us Sleep fans, for a
Yeah.
long time for that album, and to me, it did not disappoint.
No, not
I
at all.
absolutely love that album.
Yeah.
I've listened to that record more than any other record in 2018, so
Yeah.
it's easily
Yeah.
number 1 for
Yeah.
me. The new Voivod album,
Yeah, it's
The
great,
Wake,
isn't it? Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
Man.
It's not fair that that's that as good as.
It's crazy how good it is.
Yeah.
It really is. Do you know Kevin Stewart Pankow?
No.
He's a writer, metal writer, and
Okay.
he does a lot of touring with bands, doing merch, tour managing and stuff. He's from Canada. He came with us on the Tombs tour to do merch.
Okay.
And he like turned me on. He's like, dude, you got to hear the new Voivod album.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty out there. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I like a lot of old prog. I love King Crimson.
Yeah.
I'm a huge King Crimson
Yeah.
fan. I hear a lot of that
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
in the new Voivod album.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah.
The new Hot Snakes album.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big Drive Like Jehu fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And all the early Hot Snake stuff
Yeah.
I like too.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to put that on mine.
There's always ones you
I know.
forget.
Yeah.
That's 3. Oh, the new Judas Priest album.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Firepower.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
expect much.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It kind of brings me back to like the Painkiller
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I thought that was really solid.
Yeah.
The Dr. Octagon record.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you do hip hop at all.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm a big Cool Keith fan.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought
Yeah.
that record was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's other records I liked a lot. The new Eagle Twin record, the new Cruiser Conformity record,
Yeah.
the Yob record.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of
There's
good
still
stuff.
a lot of good stuff out there, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to what I
need
listened to on the way here. I listened to the new Cruiser Conformity, and then
Yeah.
I listened to Codeine,
Nice.
White Birch.
Oh, that's a fucking great record.
And once I got off the highway, I
Yeah.
went to calm it down a little.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But I'm a scatterbrain with music, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'll go down into my like little basement area, my vinyl and
Yeah.
my wood stove and a couple of beers and whatever. And,
Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
do that too,
I have
yeah.
no attention. Like I'll
Yeah.
listen to 100 different things
Yeah, yeah.
in one night.
All
you know
over
what I
the
mean?
place and-
Yeah, I like too much shit. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same here.
Yeah. How about
Definitely.
what was your top records?
Yeah, mine was probably. Let's see. I made a list too. Fuck.
Was the Sleep on it?
Sleep was on there. Yeah. Yeah. That record was great, and I missed that show. I had tickets to when they were here.
In Boston.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we
Boston
went.
one.
It was
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it
went
was good.
2 years ago to see them up in Portland.
Okay, I didn't
And,
go to that, but I went the year before when they played Boston,
Yeah.
and I seen them in Atlanta
Yeah.
once.
Okay.
Oh, they were great all 3 times.
I always need an excuse to tell this story, or at least reference it, because my friend Zach, who was in Black Helicopter,
Okay, yeah,
he was supposed to be on it. He's going to do an episode of this at some point, but
cool.
we went to see Sleep in Portland, and he ate something before and did not make it into the show.
Oh,
he
no.
fell asleep. Had to stay out in the car.
He took too much.
He took too much of a brownie.
I took too much of something. I should say I took just enough.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
I
did.
avoided that.
Yeah.
But I was freaking out. No, I wasn't freaking out. I was on the line of
Yeah.
freaking out. But I actually had an amazing time.
Yeah.
But it could have easily went wrong.
Yeah.
A few years ago, me and some friends went down to New York to see Sam Hain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sam Hain, midnight,
Yeah.
goat whore, whatever.
Right.
And I ate something. And it was intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Could have went either way.
Yeah,
But
I
it was
almost
good.
had to leave that Sleep show. I was like just on the edge, and I
The
crossed
last
the bridge or whatever.
the last sleep show was good though.
Yeah.
In that department.
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured out a balance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You need to figure out the balance. But yeah, so the Sleep record was on there. What else did I have on there? The High on Fire record I love.
Oh
That was
yeah,
great.
that's
Yeah.
great too.
Yeah.
That's great too.
On Earth is a band, a good friend of mine. It's not usually my style of metal,
Right.
but their new record was really good.
I definitely know the band. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
check the record out though.
What else? Or hip hop, Master Ace put
Oh,
out a
yeah.
new record that's really good.
I didn't check that out. Maybe I
Yeah.
should check that out.
That guy Freddie Gibbs put out a record that's pretty good.
I gotta check that out too.
Yeah,
I'm definitely out of the loop with
That stuff.
hip
Yeah.
hop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't keep up with it. And then like someone will be like, "Hey, did you check this out?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
But I will.
Right, right. Yeah, Czarface is really good.
A friend of mine just turned me on to that this week.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
His younger brother actually does some of the beats for
all
that
right.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
just
went
an
to
old
college.
hardcore dude I know.
Yeah, yeah. I went to college with both of those, the two white guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Seamus and George. And then they got the Inspector Deck from
Right.
Wu-Tang. But yeah, so they did the record with MF Doom this year. That was
Right.
I put up there too. Action Bronson was another.
He's
got a new one. He's kind of a
That's the big white guy.
yeah
right?
yeah. With the big
I never heard
beard.
his stuff.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's kind of weird. So, but yeah, there's still a lot of good stuff, and then reissues like.
Oh yeah, that's
You guys were talking about like the Iron Maiden, like on the Killers one, just like how many times they like reissue.
Oh yeah,
stuff
like we bought the album like 10 times.
I just bought this again the other day just to get Number of the Beast, to get this stupid fucking statue, and I have the CD of it. I'll probably never even open the CD because I have it. I have it on my Spotify. I have the CD. I have the record.
Yeah.
So it's just sealed.
Dude, I do the same thing all the time, and I do it with Blu-rays and shit.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite old horror movies is Maniac.
Oh yeah.
I must have bought that fucking movie 10 times.
Yeah.
And it just came out again,
Yeah.
like a 4K restoration. And I'm going to fucking buy it.
Yeah.
I'll probably spend $40 on it like an idiot.
Yeah, they're doing that with Heavy Metal, the cartoon.
Oh, really?
I bought that Blu-ray, and then there's another one coming out.
I'll buy it. There's a bunch of reissues this year. The one that the Verbal Assault Trial reissue.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's one of my favorite records.
Yeah.
I love that record so much. So I was psyched about that.
Yep.
But
Yeah, and music in general, like that's how the way the scene is, and just how people sell music and buy music nowadays. How do you feel like that's different now? You know, just the way kids, you think it's like they miss out on, like just listening to a record, like
at risk of sounding like an old man.
yeah,
which I am an old man,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah.
I feel bad for kids today.
Yeah,
Because although it's so easy to not make any missteps,
Yeah.
because you can check out anything
find
before
every
you spend the
fucking thing.
time on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
The thrill is gone,
Yeah.
as B.B. King said.
yeah.
Those kids will never experience buying music or acquiring or experiencing music like guys our age did.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad.
Yeah.
Because it was so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I spent so much time of my youth hunting for. I mean, you can still go hunt for records, but like, you know what everything sounds like now.
Yeah.
Before, or if you're in a record store and you're like, oh, this looks cool, you
Right.
can just go on YouTube and listen to it.
Yeah, and make
or go on
sure
Apple
it's-
Music, right?
yeah.
You know, and hey, that's great in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But the experience of buying music is totally different now.
Yeah.
And, you know, being a guy who occasionally puts out music, I am absolutely disgusted with the way music. That's another reason I love the Sleep album.
Yeah.
No one knew there was a new Sleep
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
I mean, someday it was coming out.
Yeah.
Just one day they said, "Hey,
Yeah.
tomorrow there's a new Sleep album coming out."
yeah.
Now, not every band can do that, or
Yeah.
they can.
Right,
But, you know, I absolutely hate the like promotion wheel.
Oh yeah.
Everything from like the new U2 album to like a small hardcore record
Yeah.
seems to be like everyone has to go through a PR place,
Yeah.
and then they stream a song, and then there's an album premiere, and it's just like, you know, everything's social media now.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
only way. I mean, I'm guilty of being on social media too,
Yeah,
but it's just like after a while, man, it's just like white noise
Yeah.
about this song stream, this
Right.
album stream,
Yeah.
this premiere, that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Package deals and fucking.
Yeah, dude. Like, and when the cable record comes out next year, it'll probably be the same shit.
Right.
Because if that's what the label wants to do, they gave us money to make the record.
Right.
I'm not going to tell them
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. Something about it to me just feels very like homogenized.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very stale.
Yeah.
It's like, I just find myself like shit just turns into white noise.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, even
just
though
the same album
Yeah.
covers and just a blur of.
everyone's just like
Stuff.
stepping over everyone else to try to like. I mean, they're not trying to shove it down your throat. They're trying to sell records, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But it doesn't. It just feels like the walls are closing in on
Yeah.
me. Like, oh, there's this song streaming this album.
Right.
Did you hear that? I'm like, no,
No, yeah,
I don't
know.
care.
Yeah, I miss the days, and I think the other thing kids are missing out, or kids or just people, is like an artist just developing their catalog of music and
Yes.
having that like Black Flag or Sabbath. Well, maybe Sabbath gets a little weird after a while. but
Right.
that one section of their. It's like a whole, like when you discover that band, you can then go backwards and discover all that stuff. And bands aren't. I don't think bigger bands are like doing that as much. You know, I think it's the smaller bands like Cable or just bands in the underground that are over time. You know, this is our art that we're putting out, and this is what we create. And if you like it, that's awesome. And
for sure.
If a hit happens at some point, and that's what labels used to do, they used to, invest, they weren't like put a record out and like, oh, it didn't sell 1 million copies, so fuck this, they would let you put out 10 records and then, if you happen to get a hit, that's great.
You're right, there is no like developing things in it. I wonder what record labels are going to do when this vinyl craze
kind of ends.
Because it will.
Yeah.
I'm a vinyl guy, I love vinyl, but like, it's probably at its peak right now, and it's gonna end. Yeah, my wife was in a grocery shopping at like Aldi's the other day and sends me a picture. I'm like, what is this? It's like a Johnny Cash vinyl. They had like vinyl racking in Aldi's.
Really? Yeah, they have it at Target now. They had
you know that shit ain't gonna last, man.
Yeah,
you know it ain't
weird.
Gonna last.
Yeah,
it's. I do feel bad for people today that didn't get to experience what we did.
Yeah.
Although I spent a lot of fucking money on shitty records.
Yeah.
It's part of the deal, man.
Yeah.
It's not part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would go in and just buy your favorite band's record. And, like I remember at the time buying In My Head by Black Flag and hating. Now I love that record. But at the time, just, it was just a new Black Flag record, but just... I didn't really dig it. I didn't get it at the time, and it took me because Loose Nut I love.
Yeah,
I love that record.
Yeah,
and
me and Mike touched on that at some point. I'm sure In My Head. We actually considered doing a classic album for In My Head because we like to pick albums that we think are classic albums.
Yeah. I think that's good. Yeah,
yeah. I don't think most people don't think In My Head is a classic album.
Yeah, My War is sort of the go-to.
Yeah, this is this whole faction of people out there. I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about, but there's this whole faction of people out there that like all the Rollins Black Flag stuff they just disregard.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Fuck those people.
Yeah,
that's what I say. Fuck. Those people.
I say that too. Yeah. I don't subscribe to that.
No way.
The first thing I heard by them was Rollins, the Damaged album, and
man,
maybe the TV Party single, but I don't know. Although I don't think he's on there, but
not on the single. No, but I think he. Yeah. Keith Morris is fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
But Keith Morris is the singer of the Circle Jerks.
Yeah, exactly.
And Off.
And the other guy, Ron
Reyes. That's the guy I've seen. His guy sang on like 7 songs.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
and they weren't
not very well.
Yeah, and they weren't realized. It wasn't
I agree.
The Black Flag I love. The scary, just weird.
My favorite of the early singers was Dez.
Yeah, yeah.
But all those guys, they sang on like a handful of songs.
Right. Yeah, I think Rollins. The classic lineup for me was Rollins, Bill Stevenson, and Kira or Dukowski, obviously, and
Yeah, I love Dukowski, but the fact is, Kira played on more records that I like. I mean, Damaged, of course, is Damaged.
Yeah.
But I actually love everything after Damaged. I love the records after Damaged more.
Yeah, I do too. I almost go towards slipping in a little more than My War too, which is kind of sacrilege.
My War, it is and it isn't. My War's my go-to, but they're all my go-to.
Yeah.
That's why they're one of my favorite bands. You know what I mean?
Like, did you ever get to see them? No, yeah.
I missed, dude. I think it was. Did you see him?
I did.
Did you see him at Emerson College?
I didn't see him. I saw him at the Channel on the My War. That was my first. But at the time, I liked them, but
you wish you could go back in time and see it now.
Yeah, because I don't think I appreciated it as much as I would now.
Yeah, I just missed all those guys that I went to that Bad Brains Verbal Assault show. Yeah. They all went to the In My Head tour, which is like 3 weeks or a month before or whatever. Yeah. So I just wish I had seen it.
Yeah.
Even at the time, I remember back early on, 88, maybe, seeing Blast.
Oh, yeah. I saw them once.
Take the Manic Ride tour.
That was equal to seeing Blast, I think.
I mean, they are the best Black Flag clones of all
time.
Yeah. I love Blast.
Yeah.
Insane players, powerful band.
Yeah.
But at the time, the Take the Manic Ride record was a little different. Didn't sound as much like Black Flag.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is cool. If I could go back and see that show now, I'd appreciate it way more.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the age thing that curses us, because I same with me. I missed like Minor Threat and the Misfits by like 6 months, I think, like before I started going.
Right. Just getting
What
greedy.
are you gonna do? Yeah, I know. It's like you get to see these, all these other bands. But so, what's your go-to for Sabbath? For where do you?
I mean, it's still obviously the Ozzy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I have definitely grown to really like Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules and Dehumanizer.
Yeah, Dehumanizer is great.
The Dio shit.
Yeah.
And I like Born Again.
Yeah.
But you can't fuck with those early Sabbath records. You can't do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'll listen to those records forever. I've been listening to them since I was in high school.
Yeah.
I'll probably put one on the way home, and it'll sound just as fucking good.
Yeah.
Is Ozzy the singer Dio is? No.
Right.
But he's fucking Ozzy.
Yeah.
And no one can sing those songs like him, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the first 5 records are my go-to. I don't have an answer. Every day it could change.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't. I've still, to this day, I give Technical Ecstasy a spin like once a year.
Me too.
And I'm like,
there's moments.
Yeah.
There's moments. I think it's track 2 on there.
Yeah.
It's like the keyboards and shit.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that song.
Yeah.
I think it's called You Can't Change Me.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy, I gotta spit it out, are not great albums.
Yeah.
But they have moments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but everything before that, to me, is fucking flawless.
Yeah, every second of music on the up to Sabotage, I guess, would be.
Yeah, I think that's the last one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sabbath and Black Flag are my 2 favorite bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although after Born Again, there's some darkness there with Sabbath.
Yeah, I didn't even, and I have some friends that tell me, you really have to check this one out and this one, and I'm like,
I'm sure there's some nuggets in there.
Yeah.
But
this one's real doomy, and then I'm like, no, it isn't. It came out in 1990 or 88 or whatever. It's not doomy. No way.
Yeah, like Tony Iommi's Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Like a couple of them.
Yeah.
Seventh Star.
Tier. It's supposed to be really good. And those, every once in a while, I'll check them out, and it just doesn't. I'm not comfortable with calling it Sabbath.
I know.
I know.
Did you read Tony Iommi's book?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Iron Man.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was definitely cool.
Yeah, it was. He was good. He just seems like a sweet dude. Just like that old. Yeah. Nice British guy.
Did you see them on any of the recent touring they did?
I didn't. I saw them the very first one of those they did
with Ward still playing drums.
No, they had. Or maybe it was the second one. It was the guy from Faith No More. I think it was the first Ozfest with like Pantera. Machine Head, but I think they had Mike Borden playing.
I didn't see them then.
Yeah.
I seen them on the End tour, and then the one they did when the 13 album came out or whatever. Yeah. I thought they were fucking great both times.
Yeah, they gave me the chills when I saw them.
Same here, man. The lights went down, and the sirens, fucking war pigs came on, and the song's pretty played out.
Yeah,
just like Iron Man and Paranoid.
Yeah,
still love them.
Yeah.
But being there, having never seen them,
like,
it's a whole different. It gave me chills too.
Yeah,
they were great. Ozzy was on both nights.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he has rough nights.
Yeah.
On those tours, but it was great, man.
Yeah. When Heaven and Hell did that tour, I went up to Lowell and saw them.
How was that?
It was fucking great, and I had never, for years, it was a long period where I was like, I don't go in the front anymore. Like I always, but I was like, fuck this, because it was general admission on the floor. I'm like, so I was like 10, 15 feet from Dio and Geezer Butler, and it was just like, Dio's just sounded so fucking good.
I did not go to the show in Connecticut, and boy, do I fucking regret it.
Yeah.
I think they played. Do you remember the opening act on that?
I don't. Was it?
Because they played at the casino, one of the casinos in Connecticut, and it was Heaven and Hell and Motorhead.
Oh yeah, well, it definitely was a Motorhead.
And I didn't go.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's one of those things I look back. What the fuck was I doing that was that important? I didn't go. You know,
I do that a lot of times. There's like a lot of like Motorhead. I only saw once with.
I ended up seeing them quite a few times because today is the day.
Oh, they did the tour with
them. And I went to the Hartford show and the Providence show.
Oh, all right.
Steve invited me to go or whatever. So
Nice.
yeah, it was. And then I seen him a few other times.
Yeah.
Always great.
Yeah, yeah. And then for what was the other band we were talking about?
Flag.
Mammoth Black Flag. Oh yeah, Did you ever? What did you think of that last record they did with that?
I think it's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I think it's a fucking embarrassment.
Isn't it?
From the cover,
Yeah,
to everything about it, man.
it's so ridiculous.
Me and Mike Hill went to that show, and I was fucking depression had a hold of me.
Yeah,
I was so fucking bummed out.
You guys did an episode of talk
right when we got home. We went to the show. I drove to New York.
Yeah,
met Mike. We walked over to the show.
Yeah.
Went to the show. Stopped at a bodega. Got a couple beers. Went back to his place and recorded immediately.
Oh, all right.
It's an old episode of
I'll have to
Everything
look
Went
for that.
Black from May of whatever that. 4 years ago.
I'll have to look for that.
It was fucking depressing, dude.
Yeah.
Like the only cool. I never seen Black Flag.
Yeah.
So being in the same room, seeing Greg Ginn play guitar and perform, Black Coffee,
Yeah.
and My War and shit was cool.
Yeah.
The fucking drummer was weak.
Yeah.
The bass player was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And Ron Reyes fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Any footage I saw that was awful.
I had nothing positive to say about it, and it's just like the fact that Ginn marched that fucking shit show out there, and then they did a second round of touring with
Mike Vallely. Yeah.
right, and then the venues where they played were like a quarter of the size.
Oh yeah.
And then they were supposed to do a third round.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to book them, from what I heard anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I heard.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that book shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey, Flag might come and play like your fucking kitchen.
Right.
It's just a fucking desecration of the name. I mean, just look at the fucking artwork on that album.
I don't know why.
Like, King.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, this. It's
know.
like a speechless thing. Like,
And listen, if Rollins doesn't want to do it, whatever. If Kira doesn't want, when you look at the roster of bands, right, on SST,
yeah.
this fucking guy must have burned again. He must have burned every fucking bridge there is, because you could put together, you could close your fucking eyes, and put together a band and call it Black Flag. Have Mike Watt play bass.
Yeah, I know.
Have Eugene Robinson
Seriously.
from Oxbow sing. Oxbow was on SST at one time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have fucking Jay Mascis.
Yeah.
He can do anything. Have him play drums.
Yeah,
He's a great drum. Like.
Yeah.
But he, the rumor on the street, I don't know this shit for a fact, but I've heard for years, like, he's just fucking burned everybody. So no one wants it. When you look at this band he marched out there, who are these fucking guys?
I remember that. I don't know who they were. Yeah, out of all those people. And then the thing with that Keith Morris had with the basically it was the Descendants with Keith Morris.
Flag
was amazing.
That was
I didn't see it live,
great.
but
I did.
I watched the video and
I went to the Sinclair in Boston when they did a second tour. The first one I didn't go to, and I regretted it. And I'm like, oh, they're never going to do this again. Yeah. So I went, and, dude. It was like redemption.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That, yeah.
Dez sang some of the shit at the end.
Yeah.
It was mostly Keith singing, but Dez sang some of the shit at the end.
Yeah.
It was fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it just blew away.
Yeah.
The thing that Ginn marched out there.
On the we were talking about before we came on the Mojack podcast.
Yes.
Which we've begun to shout out a lot on this lately.
Cool. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. But one of the episodes they did, I can't remember who it was with, but I think he was going to interview or write a book on SST, or he was, and he was at a show and had like a confrontation with Mike Vallely and like, who was it? It was a really interesting story. It was like Ginn was like kind of going along with it, and then all of a sudden he was like, Mike Vallely whispered to him, and he's like, and then the dude was like, basically, get the fuck out of here, like.
Because I guess Vallely was the manager.
Yeah, he was the manager,
and then that band he was in, Good for You.
Yeah.
They were the opening act. It was like all the same guys.
Yeah,
it was the same band.
Yeah. It was such a weird.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name you're talking about.
Yeah.
I hope that book comes out.
Yeah. I'd like to.
I'd like to hear that. You don't know Mojack podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I'd like to know too. I should ask them if Ginn is aware. He must be aware of the podcast, and I'm wondering what his.
You would think so, but
opinion of it.
I haven't heard a thing about that guy in years now.
know.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, I think the last thing I heard was he was in trouble for like domestic
Yeah, I don't know the details.
Something or something, but whatever.
Yeah, who fucking knows? He's probably down in that warehouse in Taylor, Texas, fucking eating mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
Who knows what that guy's up to?
Yeah. We'll close it out with. With some episodes, I was asking people this, and then I stopped doing it. But the Faith Void record, where do you?
Where do I stand on?
Yeah,
It's a classic, man.
Yeah. What side do you like better on that?
Well, I'll say this: if you're gonna say the Faith Void record and limit it to that, I'll go Void.
Yeah.
Although the Faith Subject to Change 12-inch is one of my favorite Discord releases of all time.
Yeah,
I love that record.
Yeah.
But definitely got to go Void.
Yeah.
Definitely go Void. I like the Faith side.
Yeah.
The Faith side to me, though, like Faith wasn't really developed yet. Because when you listen to Subject to Change 12-inch,
that's a record.
Yeah, it's a little more developed.
Yeah.
You know, like the Faith shit just kind of sounds like a cool punk band.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the Void side is special because nobody fucking sounds like Void.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody sounds like Void.
Yeah. I think when you did that crossover podcast, you were kind of talking about that could argue that was like one of the first sort of metal.
Yeah, I'm actually
Times
Mike
metal.
brought that up, not me, but I never thought of that.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah,
absolutely right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I saw them once in Boston, and what's his name, the guitar player?
Bubba
Bubba was wearing a sleeveless Motley Crue shirt.
You've seen Void?
Yeah, they played it, but it was after they. It's in. I think there's pictures in that Triple X fanzine book from that show. It was a hall show with. I can't remember who else played on that, but they were kind of. You can find that stuff. There's a bootleg of that era of stuff.
Yeah, what
Red Tide or Red. There's a bunch of stuff that they recorded and they just never released. It was
right. So they're more like they were like a full on metal.
They were pretty much full on metal at that point. So it was. I don't like to brag. I saw.
It's still cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard that stuff.
Yeah. This is.
How does that rank against SSD? How We Rock.
I like How We Rock a little better. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe just because I listened to that record a lot and it came out when I was probably 16, 17, and it just I don't know. When I listen to it now, it sounds like a hardcore record. When I listen to it then, it sounds like a rock record.
I can see that.
But but a lot of that stuff just didn't. The one after that was I can't listen to that record. Break It Up. The one they did after that, and then just the Boston bands that did that. I don't think the only one that sort of aged well is the FUs when they kind of went a little more rock. But I think that stuff has been good. The DYS when they went metal, it was a little corny, and then they've gone like street punk or whatever. Since then, I don't know if you've ever seen.
I went to that Gallery East. Reunion show.
Yeah.
And the whole show was everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, to me though, Jerry's Kids.
Yeah, that's the band.
They stole the show.
Yeah.
Man.
And the Freeze should have been on that show.
I agree. They're always a band that gets fucking left out of every
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
It was there from like the Cape or something.
Yeah. Them and like Psycho and Cancerous
Psycho.
Growth. Or
Yeah.
those bands always kind of get.
Jerry's Kids, Is This My World? That's one of my favorite hardcore records of all time.
Yeah, that's
very
I can
underrated.
listen to that any.
Yep.
You know the band His Hero Is Gone?
Oh yeah.
You ever hear their cover of? I think they do Lost or Raise the Curtain, maybe.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
My friend Brian Simmons, who runs Atomic Action Records,
Yeah.
his son was in a band called V-Sect. They're cool. Yeah. They're no longer around.
Yeah.
But they covered Raise the Curtain. Too.
Oh wow!
It was cool because they were like younger kids too. You know.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. They just played like a few months ago. Jerry's Kids up in Boston, and it was supposed to be their last show. And...
Oh, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
I only seen them. I shouldn't say that. I went to see Suicidal on the Join the Army tour. And
nice.
Jerry's Kids was the opening band, but I was not inside. I was outside skating or something.
I
stupid.
know. I wonder how many of those bands and things that we've... Like a friend of mine claims that I saw Rage Against the Machine with Jesus Lizard. I have absolutely no memory of that at all. And I should just look it up and see if that even is something that happened, but I'm like, I don't think that's a show that happened. But he says it was early on when, band, like in the early '90s when bands like that would. I mean, it makes sense.
I bet you there's shows I've forgotten
Yeah.
that I've gone to.
Yeah. But I think I would remember seeing the Jesus Lizard. You know, like
Yeah, you would think.
yeah. So, but anyway, so thanks for coming out here, man.
Hey, no problem, man. I had a blast.
Yeah, definitely. And, thanks.
Thank you.